Well, it's just great for you to be here today. Godly Play is where we will tell you stories. Some of you might know the stories and some might be the first time. I know most of you. My name is Wayne. And you can call me Wayne. I don't mind that. So, and let's see. Noah, Nyana, Elizabeth, Alex, and I still didn't get your name. Maybe Annie can help me? Oh, hello, Owen. Well, it's nice to have you here today. Okay, it's nice to have you here. Well, are you ready for a story? Are you ready for a story? I'm going to go get some materials. Watch where I go. Good morning. How are you today, Becca?
I'm good.
Good. Well, today we were outside, so I got the things that I need from a cart. But when we are in our room, there will be things all around the room, and the pieces of work that we will get to touch ourselves will be on shelves that you can all see. Today we'll tell the story of the Holy Family. Yes?
Mr. Schmid, can we sit a little closer to you?
I think that would be good. I asked Owen if he could hear me, but I think you can. So you can kind of scoot in so you can hear.
So we can hear it better and see. Can I put the blanket around me instead? Yeah, you can do that too. You want to put it right here? Good. Let me see. You guys want to share a blanket? Put the blanket on it. I'm warm now. You're warm now.
Today,
Good?
today we will hear the story of the Holy Family. Here are some figures. Sometimes when you see figures like these, you're told not to touch them because they're fragile and they might break. But these figures are for you. You can touch them and work with them whenever you wish. So the story of the Holy Family begins with the Christ child. And the Christ child is reaching out to give you a hug. Here is the Mother Mary. Here is the Father, Joseph. Here is a donkey. It was the donkey that Mary rode on to get to Bethlehem to be counted by the Roman soldiers. Now I'm told if you're going to have a baby, it may be uncomfortable to ride on a donkey. So sometimes Mary would get off the donkey and walk. But even walking would be uncomfortable for someone who is going to have a baby. So the donkey was there when Mary needed her. There was a cow that lived in the place where the Christ child was born. The cow probably woke up one morning only to see the Christ child in the place where the cow would usually get its breakfast. So the cow would have been very surprised that morning. Here's a shepherd. Today in our worship service, we heard a lot about shepherds. Shepherds work in fields and they take care of sheep. So that night when the Christ child was born, there were many shepherds and many sheep. We will have just 2 sheep to remind us of the shepherds that were there. The shepherds had seen a great light in the sky and they became afraid. But then they heard singing. They heard the angels singing about the good news that the Christ child was to be born. And they were happy at that. And then they stopped being afraid. Here is one of the 3 kings. The 3 kings were also called Magi. The word Magi is a little bit like the word magic. They were very, very smart. And that's kind of where we get the word magician. They knew a lot about lots of things. One of the things that they knew a lot about were stars. And they would watch the sky, and they would watch the stars move through the sky. And one time they saw a star that was, they called it a wild star. It moved through the sky like no other star that they had seen before. So they decided to follow that star. And they followed it to the place where the Christ child was born. And they brought gifts. Can you see? They're holding gifts in their hands. They brought gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The child, the Christ child, grew up to become a man. But the man still has his arms stretched out to give us all a hug. Now the man grew up to do teachings, and eventually he died on a cross, which is sad, but it's also wonderful in an Easter raising up kind of way. So we have the small Christ child with his arms stretching out to give a hug in that one place. And we have the grown-up man still reaching out, not just in that place or that time, but in every time and every place. I wonder what you like about this story. Can you speak louder, Noah?
Yes, I like how in books they tell the story differently.
Hmm. I wonder, yes, Owen. You like that they're different colors?
Oh, you mean the two tall guys look like brothers?
They do. Elizabeth likes the baby Jesus.
I wonder what you think is the most important. Jesus is important. I wonder if you could take out any of the figures and still have the most important things on the table.
Yeah, take the cowl.
The cow was part of the story, but it might not have been the most important part of the story. I wonder what part of the Holy Family is about you. I wonder what the name of the Christ child is.
Jesus.
I wonder if you've ever seen the Holy Family in church.
Yeah.
I wonder where you might have seen it.
Well, I've heard the story.
Can you say it louder, Alex?
I've heard the story a lot.
You've heard the story? You've heard the story? Have you? I wonder if you've seen these figures in our church. There is a song. There is a song that we sing sometime in the year that's about this story. It's about the place where the Christ child was born. It's O Little Town of Bethlehem. And it's about the Christ child being born. And the shepherds coming. And the stars in the sky. Okay. We took the cloud away. The donkey. The sheep. More sheep. The person who watches the sheep.
Shepherd.
A shepherd. the three kings, also called the wise men, also called the magi. Three of them who brought their gifts. And we have the Mother Mary, and the Father, Joseph, and we have the Christ child who grew up to be a man and died on the cross, which was both sad and wonderful. But both the child and the man have their arms stretched out to give us all a hug, not just now, but wherever we go during the day, and when we go to school this week, in every time and every place. This is the Holy Family. When we are in our classroom, these figures are there for you to work with. You can touch them, you can work with them, you can move them around. They are for you. They are the Holy Family that we are a part of, and they are for you now, in this place, and every place, and every time.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Godly Play. We hope you can join us next time on October 25th after the drive-in service. God bless. Hope to see you soon.